All right, here we are on episode 94 of the Trash Talk Business Podcast. This is our weekly time to dive into growing, scaling, and building your junk removal dream. I'm Andy Weins, as always, your host from the great state of Wisconsin. This is normally the part of the show where I introduce Casey Bubba Lawrence from the Big D, Dallas, Texas. He is out this week with sick kids, so this will be the Andy and Andrew show this week.
Hey, Andy, I'm so sorry, dude. I need to reboot my computer. Something's going on. Can you hear me?
Away? Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, you're chopping up really bad. I'm so sorry. I got to reboot really quick.
Here's the deal. I already had something lined up, so we're just going to front load it on the show because the show goes on. I got a box in the mail. I will not show the address. I don't know why. I don't know why people are weird about fucking addresses. Like, hey, how are you? Afternoon, gentlemen. What I don't understand is like people go like I put my address one time on Facebook because it was like, hey, prove that you bought this book. And I did. And they're like, oh, I can't believe you put your address up there. I'm like, first of all, it was my business address. Second of all, my personal address is readily available. And if you come over, like we can probably hang out. I got a 4-wheeler and guns and probably beef jerky. So we're good, right? If you want to come visit me on the farm, no worries. And if you're my enemy and you're going out of your way to see me, we'll still hang out. I don't give a shit. All right. Anyway, Spencer Christian from KNS Junk Removal up in Minnesota. He came down here. One of the few people that came down. Most people come up to Wisconsin. He came down here and bought a hot tub dolly from me over the summer. We kind of bullshitted. Anyways, he sent me a box. I did not open it. Unlike the time when I got this hat and I clearly had opened the box ahead of time. This time I did not open the box until now. So I'm opening it. Oh my God, look at that. Dude. You know what? There we go. Someone that knows me. No, I will wear a hat. So and Casey knows, or people that watch normally, Casey's had the unofficial sponsor. Some KNS swag. We got KNS with the dumpster, the koozies, and we got the shirt. So here we are, KNS Junk Removal. Shout out my boys up in the greater Minnesota region. What do you give me? 2XL? Well, come on now. That might fit Casey. Although Casey's slimmed down and some pens. So we got koozies, we got pens, and we got a hat. I'll rock the hat. Casey's actually going to be up here next week for some strategic planning, and we'll do an episode in person together. So I'll give him the shirt. I don't know if he can do 2X. Casey's slimmed down lately. I will rock the shit of this hat. I'll rock this hat right now, actually. That way they can be the unofficial sponsor. I got my headphones off, so Andrew, if you're talking, I can't hear you for shit. There we go. A little flat brim. All right, here we go. KNS Junk Removal up in the greater Minnesota region, the Minneapolis region. Shout out the unofficial sponsor. All right, there we go. He says that's all you had. I do appreciate it. Thank you, sir. There we go. It's a good day. Now Andrew Thompson is back. See, it's like a filibuster. Right, I watch a lot of Dave Portnoy's pizza reviews. Dave Portnoy from Barstool, and when he gets a pizza that's clearly out of the oven, that's hot, you got to fill the dead air. You're not going to burn the roof of your mouth. Just like now, I'm not going to stop the show because Andrew's got shit internet out there in California. That ain't on me. Anyways, now
this building has fiber internet too, so it just shit on me.
There you go. All right, well let's. I do like. Is that the recycling symbol? I do like this recycling symbol on the hat. Big fan, huge fan. All right, so let's get into it. Andrew, I'll go back to where we were 4.5 minutes ago. Why are you on the show today? Let's talk about that.
Well, I found I found a lot of YouTubers a long time ago when I first got into junk removal, and you were one of them. And, you definitely inspired me. What do you call it? The 4 R's? Recycle, reuse,
the 5-phase recovery process. It used to be the 5-phase reutilization process. And I kept fucking up the word reutilization, so I changed it to recovery. So it's a 5-phase recovery process, which is to reduce, which is our consulting arm, reuse, repurpose, recycle, and responsible disposal. 5-phase recovery process. There we go.
So I saw that, and it inspired me to do scrapping a lot more than I was. And so, I actually reached out to you because I wanted to talk to you about that. And I wanted to have you on my show at one point, but then I was like, you know what? I'm going to hit Andy up. I'm going to ask him if I can be on his show because I'm working on some big things. And I wanted to kind of just tell the world what I'm talking about. And you're you're the only one doing a trash talk podcast. So, you know,
there's a couple others. Sonoma Hauling down out in California. I was on their live show.
Yep.
They do theirs. I think they do theirs on Mondays, 5
Dude,
p.m. Pacific.
I don't know if they stream it to a podcast like on Spotify, do they?
Oh no. I don't know.
think
They
it's
use
just
the same
YouTube stuff.
platform we use. I do know they use StreamYard.
Yeah, I use StreamYard as well, but
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know
I
if
had a
they
good time on their podcast. Like, shout out them, Sonoma Hauling. He's got a little checkered background. He was a felon and he got out, fixed his life up, and he's hauling junk. Like huge fan of people that, like, I was born in this business, so it made sense to me. I love it. Or in like Casey out of the Army, was in the oil fields, wanted to start a business, linked up with his mom and his stepdad, and got in a franchise junk removal, didn't know shit about it. So huge fan of people that have no clue about junk removal, get in and go all in. So Sonoma Hauling, those guys are good shit out there. They put a lot of content out.
Yeah.
They recently got married. So no, when people hate, I get this from time to time. People are like, oh, like, do you not like this person or that person in junk removal? It's like, man, it's such a small industry, and I have better shit to do with my life than not like somebody because they run their business different than me. Like
I agree.
Those two kids down in we had them on the show. Why can't I remember where they were from? I want to say they were from Melbourne, Florida, and or maybe Jacksonville. Anyways, the West Virginia boys. I can't think of their name offhand. Like, they were rowdy as shit. They got on LinkedIn and Facebook. We're like, man, we just like smashed this job up for $600. It was fucking awesome. We had $40 in landfill fees. And I'm shaking my head. I'm like, man, don't smash the TV with the fucking sledgehammer. I was so mad. And then I had him on the show and I was like, hey man, don't do that. He's like, no, our bad. We know what the fuck we were doing back then. My guy, we're cool. It's like you can't hold it against people that do things different than you, especially if they don't know the answers or they don't have the same morals, values, beliefs, or laws that you have, right? So anyways, yeah, I love all the content creators that are in the junk removal space, because it's, when I got into this 15 years ago, it was a very unsexy industry. There was only a handful of people putting stuff out there, and now I'm putting stuff out there, and it allows me to spend time with the people that also are putting content out there, and my business gets better when I invest in others. So anyways, there we go. Junkless junk removal. Those
Facebook, the Facebook group.
The Facebook always answers. And there's people there's a guy that calls me right away junk removal. And I only know him as right away junk removal because as he comes up with his phone, I always forget his name and he starts talking and then I'll remember it. There's a lot of junk removal companies. It was Junkless Junk Removal. Yeah, shout out those guys. And they got that weird ass awesome fiber fucking like bull logo. Let's go. All right. I rambled. That's what I do. You're welcome. So yeah, we both want to do each other's podcast. Now you got shit going on here. Grant's asking why doesn't populate his name on here? Because fucking internet, man. Facebook sucks and it's been shitting things out lately. And Taylor will send you a link how to fix it if it doesn't work. There we go. Taylor knows things and stuff. All right. So we've been wanting to get on each other's shows. Now you're on. Tell people who you are. I also want to know how you haven't got sued yet.
That's actually a really good question. So very few people ask that. Some people ask like, hey, how did Disney not sue you yet? So anyways, yeah. Hey, Andy, thank you for having me here. I do want to say something before we jump into that though, about the content creators and whatnot. Oh my, what is going on with this is insane. Hold on. You can hear me okay, right? Because
you're good. Yeah,
okay, you're chopping up completely on my side. Okay, I'll just go with it's working. But I do want to say the people in the Facebook groups probably disagree with the YouTubers. I could completely agree with you with why hate on how somebody else does something or how they run their business. But the Facebook groups people absolutely hate on the YouTubers. YouTubers like me, and they're always talking shit on the YouTubers. But anyways, that's besides the point. I just wanted to say that, Facebook groups feels the opposite. I don't know how involved you are in Facebook groups, but they don't like the YouTubers.
So this is how involved I am. In life, you have a choice of being three. Everything in my life comes down to three. And in life, you have a choice of being one of the three. You can be a consumer, a contributor, or a creator. Here, I'm the creator. This is the show that Katie and I developed, right? You're a contributor. You're hopping on the show. Andy Barton, all the people that hop on, your contributors. And then the people that watch the show are consumers. And the people even that jump in and comment, right? They are contributors, right? They're keeping the conversation going. In Facebook groups, I am straight consumer, rarely, if ever, will I jump in. I watch things. I'm looking for trends. I watch things to see what people are saying. I also watch to see who responds to each other. I've seen people that are complete dicks to people in Facebook groups and then want to be on our podcast. And I'm like, I don't like, you're not a person of high moral integrity. Somebody went after in one of the Facebook groups, my guy, can't think of his name. Oh, Lewis up in Canada, like attacked him on social over the weekend. And oh, there we go. Andrew left. That's fine. I'll keep talking. Anyways, attacked Lewis on one of the Facebook groups. And I was like, that's a good fucking guy. And he responded in kind. He responded and was straight, was like, hey, man, like, yep, I fucked up your site, whatever. We're not doing business ever again. Not everybody's your customer. And he had the utmost level of professionalism. And the other guy was fucking dogging him. And I read all the comments. And I also watched all the people chime in. Right? They both had the right to say what they had to say on Facebook. I didn't fucking chime in for shit. That's it. I'm not taking a side other than I'll say that Lewis handled things professionally. That's all I'll say. I don't know the other cat. I don't know. I know I've been fucked over by people and fucked over on money. So whatever. So yes, I will say the YouTube community, people that are on YouTube generally are more about education. They're more about promoting each other and pushing each other, while Facebook is like, here's my dick and here are my car keys. And
I agree with that.
And I don't have to show anybody my dick or my car keys. Like, you come on down or come on up to Wisconsin, and mi casa su casa. I've had one of our competitors, the local 800, not 800, the local college hunks guy on this podcast. I'm like, hey, let's fucking dish. I got no problem going toe to toe. I've had my competitors come here for my open houses. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't have competition. Nobody else has a 27,000 square foot facility that's reverse engineering the supply chain like I am. So I do things different. So that's fine. I am all about education. I want people to get better at recycling and be more responsible. And so I give the information away for free. Anyways.
Oh, there. Okay. Yep. Okay. They're so strange. Okay.
Taylor's telling me, I'm totally.
Okay. I guess
I'm good on my end. I'm totally fuzzy. So screw it. As long as we can hear each other.
Yeah. I guess it's an audio call rather than a face-to-face.
Yeah. Whatever.
Okay, cool. I guess I'll just roll with it. Cool. So yeah, anyways, to answer your question though, to backtrack quite a bit.
Yeah.
What was your question? Why am I here? Or
why are you here? But I also want to know, so to our audience, you are JEDI junk removal.
Yes.
And I want to know,
Sue, why am I not being sued?
Why you're not being sued?
Yeah, so I guess I'll just give a quick mini intro. I got into junk removal 2 years and 4 months ago. And I was at a very, very desperate time. One of my friends told me about junk removal. It was during COVID. My whole life just went to shit because I was working on a project that was in the startup world for tech. I'm a programmer by trade and been a software engineer my entire life. I was working on a travel app to travel across the world with your friends. And I had just raised investor money a month before the lockdown. So traveling across the world was fucked. Being with your friends was fucked. You weren't even allowed to kiss your mom or grandma, hello, sorry, not your mom. That's weird. Kiss your grandma when she comes by, or, see your family at all. So traveling with friends was just shut to shit completely. So I had to ex-nay that project, and I was like desperate. That's how I discovered junk removal. We'll touch on that a little bit more. But as far as the whole suing goes, I talked to a couple attorneys, and they said long as I wasn't profiting off their story or their merchandise, so long as there's not like I'm using the force or like, I'm something with their story and I'm profiting off of it, I should be fine. Now there's a company called Aladdin Plumbing with the same fucking font, Aladdin, with like 20 trucks around the state. So I don't know how he's not being sued because it looks like Aladdin. So at the end of the day, he told me, long as you're not profiting off their story or the merchandise and making money from them, I'm not using their story. It's just says JEDI could really be anything at that point. It's my son's name. So long as I don't have like, Darth Vader and, Yoda and all that shit, which I don't, he told me I should be fine. So, haven't been sued. No cease and desist, nothing.
All right. So you're going to filibuster here. Like I filibustered earlier when you're all fucked up. You're going to filibuster here. Start telling the audience about that time right, getting into junk removal, I'm going to hop out of the room and hop back in, and then maybe people can see my face as it's animated. So let's talk about the hero's journey, right? And obviously we can't mention, Obi-Wan or Anakin or anybody else.
Yep.
Give it to me.
I'll go in a little more depth. You said you're about to, you're hopping off to try to fix your video?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So it was during COVID. One of my friends and I was like desperate. The whole free rent thing was ending. I was going off COVID free rent, taking advantage of everything I could while I tried to figure out how to survive and get my app going. Eventually I have to give up on the app. And it was to a point where I had investors and I had to tell them like, hey, I don't know what to do. We're out of money. The app's not going to work. I don't know when the lockdown's going to be over. I couldn't launch this app. And it was super frustrating because the investors would keep coming. And I raised a couple $100,000 on just blind faith, them believing in me because, I've been a software engineer. I have some credibility in the software space. So I was able to show things I've done before. But it was like 3 months later. When are we going to launch? And I'm like, I'm not Fauci. I'm not the dictator here determining the country right now. And they would come 6 months later. When are we going to launch? I'm like, fuck. And
you're in the People's Republic of California, right?
I'm in the horrible state of California. Yes.
People's Republic. Yes.
Yes. The People's Republic. It is like China over here. But anyways, 9 months in, they asked, and I'm like, I don't know. Finally, it got to a point where it was 1 year in. I have burned all of the investor money on building the product, payroll. And I got to a point where it's like, I don't fucking, am I allowed to cuss on the show?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
You're obviously not an avid listener. Yes.
I was like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. And it was so stressful because it was eating me up inside. So what I had to do is just tell him, I'm sorry. I have to move on. I can't, I'm out of money. COVID free rent is ending. There's no more Biden bucks coming out. Okay. The Biden bucks are over. So I had to figure something out. So one of my friends was like, Andrew, you can make $1,000 a day if you're willing to put your humility to the side. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, will you pick up trash? And I was like, yeah, $1,000 a day. I didn't believe him. I was like, there's no fucking way. So I YouTubed it and $1,000 a day, $1,000, all those fucking classic videos, right?
Oh yeah. You will not find one of those with my name on it. And yes,
I know.
Yeah, they're out there. And they're not they're not wrong. You can generate $250,000 in top line revenue by following or you got the 6-figure. It's like the race to 100,000. When I first got in, I thought was difficult. And then my first month of business, I did $13,000. I was like, the fuck was I waiting around for? Your
videos are like 17 ways you can take advantage of aluminum.
They're correct. Exactly. Yeah. Like how stupid do you want to get? So I also had like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I had a guy that was doing my YouTube at the time. He's like, yeah, man, like you got to do these things that are like more like jump out and like, it'll get you more followers. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want those followers.
Those are
like, I want people that do the job. Like, this is not for entertainment. This is for, I want you to recycle more. That's it. Like, I want you to keep shit out of the landfill. Like,
you're not trying to get the YouTube subscribers for how to make $1,000. How to do no. It's a completely different audience. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And where did I leave off? So
$1,000 a day.
Yep, $1,000 a day.
Be humble.
And he and I were supposed to go into business together. I was going to run all the administrative stuff, setting up House Call Pro, setting up the ads. He was going to do phone. I was going to do the website, Google Maps, all that, bring in leads. Basically, he was going to be on the truck and doing the phone calls. And he ran this business before, but he ran it into the ground. He was doing $50,000 a month, but he ran it in the ground because of his drinking problem. So I made an agreement. I was like, hey, if you cannot get fucked up for 2 weeks straight, and you can show me that you can do, and then on day 14,
we got a low bar here, boys and girls, low bar. Yeah.
Day 14, he got fucked up. So my girl and I was just like, we can't partner with an alcoholic. It's just not going to work out. So long story short, he was out of the picture, and he was actually, it's a sad story. He's a really good friend of mine. He just passed away last year because of it's horribly sad. But anyways, so we didn't partner with him, and I went my own way, and I dove in like I do anything I want to do. I dive in like 100%. Just burn. What does Tony Robbins say? If you want to take the island, burn the boats. I literally
Burn the boats.
burned the fucking boats, jumped in, consumed all of Matt and JoJo and every other YouTuber I can find. And I went and rented a beat up yellow box truck. It was like a used up Penske truck with all the logos ripped off, graffiti and shit. Rented it for $400 a month. My mom knew somebody who just had a almost 200,000 miles, 2006 or 2007 beat up box truck. It lasted me about 3 months. And I remember my first job. It was a cardboard job. $200 to pick up cardboard. I was like blown away. Took me 10 minutes, and it was a bunch of cardboard, like a lot of cardboard, but I was still blown away. And then from there, it just took off. And I'm on YouTube. We can get into a little bit more, but I'm known as kind of like the Google Ads guy.
Yep.
So from there, by month 3, I think, I don't remember the exact numbers, but like 20 grand. And then month 4, I think 40 grand, with one truck.
Yep.
So, and my intentions were to go back to my travel app called Gypsy, GYPSEE, see the world, Gypsy, kind of like a nomad traveler. But it started doing so well. I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to do more locations, build an empire, have 20 locations. And I soon realized it's a lot harder. So anyways, that is the medium
origin story. And now, so you're still, where are you at in your Jedi Junk Removal business now?
So I actually sold just last month to work on this. And we'll talk about this later. But I don't know if you've seen my YouTube channel, but I'm building software to compete with House Call Pro. And I decided to sell my junk removal business to focus on software for the junk removal industry.
So did you 100% sale?
What's that? 100% sale. It was a complete legal sale through an actual broker going through escrow.
Yeah.
It was a process.
What'd you say?
It was a process. It was a long tax returns, profit loss statements, bank statements, all that shit.
So with that, did you stay on as like 6 months of consulting, or did you train the new person, or was it just like, hey, here's the business, don't fuck it up?
Yeah, actually, a lot of people who wanted to buy it and who were applying were not in the junk removal business, but the person who ended up following through, he's a cash buyer. Everybody else got declined with their SBA stuff, SBA loan. We'll talk about why later. I'm a young business. It's a lot harder to get approved, but it was a junk guy who bought it. So
what did he just didn't have the marketing side on his house?
He has his own business doing $500,000 a year with no ad spend, none.
So why did he buy JEDI?
I think he wants to grow in LA. So he doesn't live in LA. So he lives so my first location, I don't like LA, by the way. I moved to LA to grow this empire. So I lived in Ventura County, which us Ventura people hate LA people.
Yeah.
And so I was in Ventura, but now I'm an LA guy, right? So I moved to LA to launch the second location, right? So I had 2 locations going, one full time, 7 days a week up in Ventura, truck running every day, every single day, 2 crews to make it run weeks and weekends. And then I moved to LA to launch the second truck, tried to launch a third truck, but my credit really started to get in the way of things, like really screwing me. My used trucks kept breaking down, just $40,000 in repairs and maintenance over the course of a year or 2. And then trying to finance a new one, I just couldn't get a new dump truck for the life of me because my credit's so bad. And so it was a junk removal person. He's a super cool guy. He's actually going to be at the in-person event that I'm hosting. I don't know if you've seen the YouTube videos.
I have seen. You got like 100 people coming in or whatever. Let's talk about that. So you have an in-person event.
Yep. So there's a virtual one where I'm giving away a $10,000 dump trailer, brand new. Louis Vandervalk is giving away a $5,000 website. He's my partner on this. And Matt Fitch from iHaul Junk is giving away $5,000 of marketing materials. That's the virtual event. The virtual event has thousands of people.
So what's interesting there is when you were off, because your internet was all fucked up. I was talking about Louis and how one of the Facebook groups were going after Louis, and like Louis is my guy. He's good shit. I didn't even know you guys were affiliated. I like Louis. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's one of the people in the Facebook groups who has maintained his reputation where everybody will jump up and protect him and defend him.
Yeah. So let's talk about this virtual event.
So the virtual event is before the in-person event. They're both on the same day, but the virtual event is where anybody could apply to win the dump trailer. I drive it out to you the next day. Maybe like 2-3 days later. I don't care if you're fucking in New York. I'm going to drive this dump trailer to you. So it's in February 24th. And the reason for this event, giving away a whole bunch of stuff, like all $20,000 worth of stuff, all for buzz and hype, so that people are like, oh my God, Andrew is doing all this really nice stuff. Maybe I can trust him. Maybe I'll give his software a shot. But it is a software announcement video for Dispatch, the software that will take over, which my goal is to get you to stop using, I think you use Jobber, right?
I do.
Yep. So my goal in life, Andy, is to convert you someday to my software. That is my goal.
I mean, I'm a Jobber guy, right? And it's because I am, right? Like,
I'm going to send you some hats.
That's fine. Send me some hats. I don't know if there's a conflict of interest. I got nothing with Jobber. Shout out Jobber. I am what do you call it? An affiliate of theirs.
You're an affiliate.
But there you go. So there's the link. I love me some Jobber. Here's the deal. I have been open. I've given House Call Pro a spin. I gave Vonago a spin. I gave Service Titan years ago a spin. So I've run, right? Like I use Jobber because I use Jobber. I love Jobber. And yet I also know that there are things within Jobber that I would change if I had the powers to be. So I am so on the list of values. We did our company values a couple weeks ago with EOS. So we do the EOS Entrepreneurial Operating System.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. So read the book Traction. When you get to the point where you have 4, 5, 6 trucks in the field, I highly recommend EOS. They do not pay me to say that. I love me some EOS. And anyways, as we're going through our values day, or focus day, or vision day 2, vision day 1, we went over values. And one of the values that got brought up was loyalty. Mm-hmm. And I talked very candid with our employees about how loyalty does not matter to me. I do not want people to follow me because they are loyal to me. I want people to follow me because I have the best chance of keeping them alive. And that's the same thing with Jobber. I am not loyal to Jobber as I'm not loyal to anybody or anything. I want to know what the best thing is for me today and in the future. And if there's a better thing that comes around the corner, I am open to a conversation. So anyways, your event, February 24th.
What about loyal to your wife? No, I'm just kidding.
I ain't married. And I was. So there's your answer. Now, loyalty and faithful are very different. I'm in a great relationship now with a great girl, and I am very faithful. Loyalty and faithfulness are two very, very different things, my friend. All right, so let's talk about the in-person versus the live or the virtual event. What's going on with those events?
So the virtual event is the one that I'm trying to live stream on my YouTube channel. Lots of people can attend and they can enter the raffle. Anybody can win. And that will be exciting. Software announcement. Lewis will be speaking. All the fun stuff is there.
Lewis will be there in person?
Yes, a lot of people will be at the in-person too. So that's February 24th at noon PST, 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. The in-person event is 5 p.m. PST. I've got over 100, I think it's at 115 RSVPs, including Matt and JoJo, including Steezy, Chris from Clutter Reduction, Ricardo from Junk Guys, and I know I'm missing
these are all your in-person people.
This
is gonna be like the who's who of junk removal YouTubers.
Yeah, so all of them are going to be, and I might be giving a dump truck away at the in-person event. No, I'm just kidding. That's going to be later, but I'm giving away a bunch of stuff in person too. Lewis has donated a bunch of his books that he's giving away t-shirts, all kinds of stuff in person. And it's going to be like a little meet and mingle at a really cool restaurant bar where I rented out a room where we could like talk, and I don't know. And then a lot of people are flying in. And I was like, oh my God, this is just a meetup. Don't waste your money and fly in. It's not a seminar. It's not educational. And they're like, it's okay, Andrew. I just want to come meet you and have a good time. So we got about 10, 20 people flying in. So what I decided to do to make the in-person event a little more, beneficial is the next morning we're going to do a walk on the beach and then like a 2-hour mastermind breakfast where we talk and I share the newest things that I've learned in the social media world, advertising world, marketing world, just, ways to generate leads.
Well, I mean, a lot of people, junk roll guys, Ricardo, he's a flyer in because he's a Dallas guy.
Yep.
Lewis is up in Canada. So yeah,
unfortunately, he's not flying in. I wish he was. He's only going to be on the virtual one.
Got it. All right. So Lewis ain't going to be there in person. All right.
Lewis won't be there in person. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So you know what's exciting? I wish you could come.
I'm looking right now. I'm looking at ORD to LA. Actually, where are you?
LAX,
but I normally fly into Bob Hope.
Bob Hope works. It's just an hour away.
How far is LAX from you?
5 minutes.
Oh, that's okay.
I
That's
live right
like,
next to
see, there's a difference there. Like if it's like half hour LAX or an hour Bob Hope, I'm flying Bob Hope every time.
Yeah.
The
So
only
I'm literally 5 minutes from LAX, and LAX is a much easy LA. Well, no, it's not easier than Bob Hope. Bob Hope is like dead all the time.
Dude, Bob Hope is the greatest airport
Yeah.
ever. You
Yeah.
land and you
walk off the plane,
dude,
into the
Dude, you walk 7 feet, you get your bag, you walk 4 feet, you're out the door. Like
Yep.
LA weather, sun shining on you.
Yep.
I am
I
on the United app.
literally live 3 miles from the airport with traffic, 10 minutes.
So hashtag United again, another unofficial sponsor. I fucking love United. That's pretty much the only place, that's almost the only airline I fly. Hashtag United. 317 round trip.
Oh, that's not bad for a
Friday to Saturday, Friday to Sunday. That's your basic ass economy. $150 more if I want leg room. Jesus. $650 for the leg room. God bless.
Andy, you only fly first class. Come on, man. Let's get real.
I have flown first class about 3 times in my life. On top of being, I'm frugal. I'm a frugal. You got a couch? You got a wife and a kid, don't you?
Yeah, and actually, I'm letting I'm letting a couple people stay with me too.
There you go. So I'm not gonna crash yet. I used to go to LA a couple times a year.
There's room on the couch. It'll just be cozy. You'll be on the couch with Steezy.
I used to go to LA a couple times a year, and I'm the following week I'm leaving for Punta Cana. So that's how far are you from the beach? Because you're in LAX, you're not near the beach.
We're right, literally right next. I live.
So you gotta be, you gotta be near the beach if you're. I'm not gonna lie, that's fucking tempting.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, you should, because it would be awesome. We have a lot of the big YouTubers there, a lot of the big YouTubers, and then I've somehow got 115 people to RSVP. I don't know. I was honestly surprised because I was like, oh, the big event's going to be big. I'm going to try to get 1,000 people to live stream because I'm giving away a dump trailer. Duh.
Yeah. That one's a no brainer.
But I genuinely thought maybe 10 to 15 local LA companies who subscribe to my YouTube channel, but it has been crazy. I'm like so honored that this many people are coming to the event. It's so cool. And yeah, I'd love for you to be there because it'd be cool to have you there because you're one of the OGs too. And we need somebody who's responsible with the environment, recycling. We don't got none of those with us. We need somebody to. And actually, if you came, it'd be really cool because you're very educational and you could also chit chat and talk people, and we can make this.
You know what? I would be tempted to fly if I flew. I could fly Saturday morning, 9 a.m., land at noon. The virtual starts at noon, right?
Yeah, and you can just pull up on your phone.
Because I know that's what I'm saying. Or do I fly earlier? Like, how early do I want to get to LA? If you're 10 minutes from the beach, I can go sit on the fucking beach all day and be happy.
You could.
I'm a happy man. And then I would fly out Sunday night. It'd be a turn and burn.
I can tell you the beach if you want the tourist, or the beach if you want no tourist. I can tell you, and I'm in the middle of both.
I don't give a fuck. Like I want to go to the beach that has sand and ocean. I mean, you fucking. What do you need? Huntington or no? Huntington is far away.
So I'm in Marina Del Rey, where all the yachts are parked. So you got Venice and Santa Monica on one side, and then you have Manhattan on the other side. Manhattan's where it's a very nice area, but there's not many people who go to Manhattan Beach. It's not.
So I've been to Santa Monica. I've been to Venice. I've been to Long Island.
So Manhattan will be like less.
Not Long Island. Well, I've been to Long Island, but not Long Island. What the fuck am I thinking of?
But yeah, specifically on Playa Vista, right next to Marina Del Rey, where the boats are. It's a really nice area, super nice, and that's where the event's at. And that's right next to.
What's that? Where's the venue? What's the venue the event's at?
So it's in Playa Vista, and the event is going to be at Neighbors Bar and Restaurant, but it's a really cool bar and restaurant with a room that I rented that's meant for kind of hosting events, and it's connected to the bar and restaurant. Really cool vibes. It's like definitely an event bar where it's meant to be standing and talking, and there's an event space.
Playa Vista on Millennial Drive.
Yep, and then you're going to look. It's called Neighbors Bar and Restaurant.
Oh no, I found it. Oh no, I found it. Yeah.
And there's a whole shopping center, all kinds of cool stuff, drinks, bars, food. It's a really nice area.
So that is, Marina Del Rey. Oh shit, it's right there. I can walk my happy ass there from fucking.
Yep.
Playa del Rey Beach or Marina?
Playa Vista is where I specifically am hosting the event and where I live. Marina del Rey is just everybody knows Marina, so I'm like.
I could Uber to Venice Beach. We've gone way off track on the Trash Talk Business Podcast. Now we're talking about Andy Weins' fucking itinerary. Yep. So I can fly into LAX, right next to the water.
Yep.
Go sit on the fucking beach for a couple hours. Go to your thing.
Yep. And then dip after breakfast in the morning.
No, fuck that. I would stick. Yeah. I would stick around for the. Yeah, I would stick around.
Dip after breakfast in the morning. After breakfast.
What time is breakfast going till? What are we thinking?
9 a.m. to. I imagine it's going to be 2 hours with probably 20 people show up the next morning. I imagine.
See, my math is I got to add 6 hours onto that because it's 4 hour
flight. Where are you again? Where are you located?
Milwaukee. I fly to Chicago almost exclusively.
Milwaukee. Okay.
Or I fly. You know what I could do? I could fly at 7 a.m. Chicago time, which is 5 a.m. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'd love for you to come.
Yeah, the question is, how early do I want to get up? If I sleep on the plane, do I want 2 more hours on the beach or 2 more hours of sleeping?
Right.
So many choices.
Grant, you could make it.
Grant, you fixed your shit. Grant's face Grant's face wasn't fucked up before because Grant's been on here before. There he is. Wish I could go. Grant, you can go, my friend. You can go. Enthusiasm. Let's go.
Yeah, if you could make it, that would be awesome to have somebody with your influence as well.
220. There's a 225 flight that would get me to fucking all the way to lunch and then a quick
225. Do you mean like 225?
Like 1425, like 225 in the afternoon.
225 in the afternoon. You're 3 hours ahead or 2 hours ahead?
No, 220. Yeah, 220. No, 225 would be 225. It's gotta be local time. Yeah, it's always local time.
That's arrival 225.
No. 225 is when I would leave the next day.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, you don't need to be at LAX and I promise you'll get through it in an hour.
An hour. Fuck it. I can get front to back at O'Hare 11 minutes. That's like parked and everything. 11. I don't fuck around. All right. That's tempting. $520 plus a hotel. So $700 basically, if I get a shit hotel, $700 to come hang out with you guys and do a mastermind.
Yep. And if you want to save 200, you're more than welcome to have a spot on the.
Let me tell you something.
It's a big ass couch, man.
I was telling my girlfriend. Actually, the first I lived in LA, or I won't say lived, but I spent about 2.5 weeks in LA, West Hollywood, with my buddies Eric and Tony, and he has a 1-bedroom apartment. And there was 8 of us that stayed there in a 1-bedroom apartment because one was trying to be a singer, the other one trying to be an actor or a comedian, I should say, and the rest of us were in a band, and I played tour manager. And I spent a year of my life homeless, where a shower a week and crashing on the couch, like wherever we could, was better than living in the van or, less. So I've done worse.
When was this? How long ago was this?
I got home from Iraq in 2007. So this was August of 2007 until April of 2008. I was homeless for a year. Damn. And I was touring the country with the band. I'd sleep in my Jeep, or I'd sleep obviously when I was on tour, I'd sleep in the van, or I'd sleep in my Jeep, or I'd crash at random people's couches. And man, life was good back then. It was simpler. And that's right? Simpler. And we went out to California, and I remember going to PB for the first time. I have a video of me jumping into. We drove from Tempe to San Diego overnight, and the next morning, the first thing I did is I got up, I jumped in the Pacific Ocean because I was like, "Oh, this is fucking dope." And yeah, like beach showers. Like I'd full on go out there with my fucking Head and Shoulders and my Old Spice and take a full on shower at a beach shower. 0 fucks. I didn't care. And then go sleep in the van and basically have to find parking lots to sleep in all through the South. And then California, we went from San Diego all the way up to San Francisco.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude, fucking tour life was awesome back then. It was like I was watching videos over the weekend with my girlfriend, just nostalgia because I found them randomly on my drive. So yeah, no, I sleeping on a couch in LA 15 years ago, I'd have been like, let's fucking go. Now
this is a good couch too.
I'm slightly bougier, slightly.
I know, right? Same.
I like my pink noise on my app.
If you want to know all the hotel that everybody's staying at, Matt and JoJo, all of them, it's called the Hilton Culver City.
Oh, Culver City. My brother lived in Culver City for like a year and a half.
So it's 3 minutes from me. It's literally the border.
Culver City. It's a dicey, weird industrial area.
Culver City's super nice now. It's so nice. So nice.
So my brother lived in Culver City for like a year, or he worked in Culver City. He lived in Beverly Hills. No big deal. But yeah, he worked in Culver City. That's funny. Hilton Culver City.
Yeah, it's $200 a night with stupid whatever tax and crap.
Yeah. So now everybody can hear how this is my decision making matrix. I'm like, hey, this seems like a poor idea, not good use of money. Like, when are we going? Let's go. Yep, 209 from Expedia. You know what? I do have Hilton points to burn.
Hey, you know what I will give you though? You will get merch and you're gonna get a free subscription to Dispatch.
I would get that the fucking free virtual event. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody's gonna get.
What are you doing? What are you all doing for the? So the party's not gonna be a seminar. It's gonna be a straight up. Let's just party and meet and greet.
Yeah, that was the whole original plan. Was the virtual event was the big one, and then it's like, hey, if you're in LA, come up and we'll do like a little meet and greet. And then I was expecting 10 to 15 people from.
So let's talk about the virtual event. What are you doing for the virtual event? Are you just launching the platform and talking about the platform, or are you giving people?
I'm going to do a talk, and I'm going to cover why Dispatch. We're going to start with covering about the software, why I'm doing this whole shebang, and why there's problems and what's wrong with Jobber, what's wrong with House Call, why we're going to innovate and change the industry. So first of all, the software announcement, when we're going to be public, when we're going to be beta, and when you can subscribe, and how much it's going to cost, yada, yada, yada. It's going to be a fraction of the cost and how we're going to innovate. Then we're going to go into the mystery box giveaway, where I'm doing something big. I'm giving something away to everybody virtual. Like, it's going to be awesome. And I don't want to ruin the surprise, but it is going to be digital and it's going to be incredible. I'm giving away something that's going to help people, not only in the junk game, but business in general.
Okay.
And third, Lewis is going to come on. Lewis has some big announcement that he's announcing for his company as well. So he's going to come on, and whatever he's going to be talking about that's new in his company. And then after that, all of that, I will then start raffling off with StreamYard, because StreamYard has live raffling where they can literally enter the raffle by putting hashtag whatever, and I could do a live raffle. I'm going to start with the marketing materials, and then I'll start with the website. $5,000 of 1 year of yard signs, all designed by Matt Fitch from iHaul Junk. Yard signs, business cards, door hangers, I forget, pamphlets and all that stuff. A year's supply. He's going to design and pay for and ship to you. All of it. Yard signs, everything. Raffle that off. Then I'm going to raffle off a $5,000 website from Lewis with like 20 to 40 pages and SEO included for the first month or something like that.
Okay.
So an awesome website. And then the grand finale will be the dump trailer. I'm going to raffle off a dump trailer. And I don't know if I forgot to mention the mystery box. The mystery box will be right before all the raffles. I'll announce the mystery box, what I'm going to be giving away to everybody if they attend the virtual event. And then, the raffling of everything and giving away stuff. And that will be the live event. So it is a software announcement of how I'm going to disrupt the industry of field service management tools, because there's been no innovation for years. And
is this specific to junk removal or all field service?
It's specific. Okay, so you could technically use the product, but I will be tailoring towards junk removal for the next year, right? The next year will be tailoring towards junk removal and dumpster rental. But yes, this is a FSM, field service management tool, that anybody can use. And I'm really excited because there's going to be a lot of stuff in our product that nobody else is doing.
Okay.
So that's the virtual event.
All right. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So you're going to be doing that. Are you going to be doing that from home, or do you have a studio space, or how are you presenting that event?
So, do you know who Alex Hermosi is? Entrepreneur who just kind of blew up like wildfire. He did a really cool virtual event that I was inspired from. And I was thinking about setting up my camera, getting my whiteboard out and doing it. I might just do it like this. It really depends on how much I get done, because I'm working my ass off coding every day, building the product and working on the product. So it might be just very chill like this, where I announce everything and just have a natural conversation. I might set something up so it's a little more showsman, a little more cinematic. But I haven't decided. But yes, it's going to be using StreamYard, and I just might plug in my good camera to the computer. And it looks like you have a good camera plugged in too that you're streaming from, an actual DSLR or something.
Yeah, I have my webcam here. This is my standard Zoom camera, and then I have the good camera here. The only problem with this camera, and it's not the problem with the camera, is it has a really good depth of field. And yet the wall's right here. Like I don't. So when I shoot with this camera and there's there's depth to it, it really will zoom in on it'll pick what to zoom on, and then everything else looks good. So no, it's a dope camera. I know nothing about it other than it's dope. That's it.
Yeah, I know nothing.
That's why I got Taylor. Casey got a question for the. Oh, Casey's listening. I was reading there. Anyways, all right. So live show. I am tempted to come out to LA.
And then actually, why don't I just pull up? Let me see how many people are. Let me just pull up my Eventbrite. How many RSVPs do we have as of right now? Oh my, yeah, this is ridiculous. It's the same number, 111. 111 RSVPs.
To the person. Well, I would say half of them aren't going to show up, right? Because that's my hillbilly math of, especially when you have a free event, you end up having less people show up because they're not financially committed to it.
Yeah. I was wondering the same thing because this is the junk community and, there's not many junk events. So I feel like there might be a higher ratio, but yes, there will be definitely fall off for sure. If this was your classic just networking event, like 50% would show up. But since this is specific to the junk industry and there's never junk events ever, I'm hoping there's a higher.
Yeah, Casey and I were talking about that. I know, JunkCon, Lee Godbold did his event last year.
Wait, did he do it last year? I was at the one 2 years ago.
So he did it last year. I went to that one. 2 years ago, I did not go.
Wait, what did he did?
Like 18 months. No, 18 months ago. Yeah, like October of 22. Were you at that one?
It was it the big one where he had
Raleigh?
In Raleigh, and he had all the dump trucks in the big event space.
Yeah. Mike from Profit First. Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, I was there at the event. Yeah.
Yeah, I had just started my YouTube channel.
So I'm almost positive he did an event a year before that, and then he didn't do anything this last year. And you're right, there was not a junk removal convention. Casey and I have talked about it. I know there's a lot of people that have talked about it, and yet there's not like this all out. Here is the event. Like I go to Waste Expo every year, which is the waste industry one, and that's 25,000-30,000 people. That's massive.
Andy,
yeah,
maybe we could work something out because listen to this. This is a soft launch for my software, but when I go public with my software, so I'm only letting a certain amount of people. I've got over 1,000 people on the wait list to use my software. I'm only going to drip in a certain amount as I'm beta testing.
Yep.
And in July is when we go public. In July, I'm giving away a dump truck. That's the big daddy. So I'm giving away a $50,000 dump truck in July. So maybe we could turn that into something a little more exciting. But
that's
yeah. So that's a little. I haven't told anybody else that. So only your podcast knows about the dump truck.
There we go. July dump truck giveaway as part of the dispatch software public launch. You heard it here first, right? We are here breaking news stories and innovation in the junk removal industry. The Trash Talk Business Podcast. Some may say is the on the leading edge of information in the junk removal industry.
Yes,
some may say that
you have the newest information. I'm not trying to hype that event up. I'm not going to.
No. You can't promote your next event when you have an event coming. You only have to promote the event.
Yeah. But this one, so I do want to do stuff with that event. We should talk later I don't know, but this is still going to be a really big event. This is like the soft launch of my software. So this is a big deal, but for the public, I'm going to run ads and everything. I'm going to hype the shit out of it.
I like this. Also, I want to hear from you, the audience. What are your thoughts? Oh my God. Speaking of the audience, without any further ado, 10 minutes left on the clock. Mr. Casey Bubba Lawrence has joined us. Pneumonia and all. Casey, what are we going to talk about today?
What's up, man? Here's what we're going to talk about. Just kidding.
I know you saw earlier in the show, you got a t-shirt.
Can I answer Taylor's question real quick?
Yeah, what's this Taylor's? What's one thing?
Sure.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So without diving in too deep, Taylor, because I'm saving it for the virtual event, the biggest frustration I had with this software was the fact that, I had to juggle so many pieces of software to see my advertising data. From tracking phone numbers and, seeing my customer acquisition costs. I had to calculate manually using Google Sheets and not knowing how much money I was spending on Facebook and Google and Yelp. And I had to go through multiple applications, setting up CallRail with 15 different tracking numbers, and then setting up a new business phone and all this stuff. And it was so complicated to see, am I making money with Google? Am I making money with Facebook? What's my customer acquisition cost? There's no easy way to get that data. There's no measurable data. So if you want to scale on Facebook or Google or Yelp, it was impossible to see your number. Like some of these softwares don't even show your average job size without digging into your reports. CAC, LTV, frequency of repeat customers and how many, all this data so that's just one component of what we're solving. A lot of other components are like pricing and complexity and juggling multiple apps and measurable data. I mean, there's all kinds of things that were so frustrating. So there's a lot of pain points, but if I had to nail it down to one, it's the fact that it's complicated and too hard for most blue collar workers finally wanting to work for themselves. And they come to try the software. It's expensive, it's hard, and they have to set up 15 other pieces of software to even see if their data is converting. And it's very frustrating. And yes, more actionable data that's a great way to say it. But yes, there's a lot of pain points that I'm trying to solve, but that is the biggest one right now. And I really see I have a lot of things in plan.
That's interesting. I am not opposed to supporting it and looking at it and seeing what it's all about, because I pull all that data off of Jobber in the reports, and then I put in Excel spreadsheets and I run analysis after that. However, yes, there is not a great dashboard built inside that has that data. Now the question becomes, can you have it, as good or better from the day-to-day operations and functions and mapping and routing? Because I've seen another tool that had really good data, but it had dick for the operation. So it's like, the tools are great, and yet the trucks are in the wrong spot. So the data is significantly less important. So we shall see. Time will tell. So Casey, what do you
if you use our phone call system and you connect all of your ads, we'll see.
That is correct. Also, I know what's his face up and away junk removal. Taylor down in Atlanta. I know he uses like 15 phone numbers so he can track all of his marketing. So it's definitely a marketing understanding. So anyways, all right, Casey, what's on your mind since you're joining us 50 some minutes into the podcast?
Yeah, man, just feeling like shit. Thought I'd pop in and say, hey.
Hey, what's up?
Oldest son got early stage pneumonia. Good thing is we caught it quick, so he's on some antibiotics. He's actually doing really good now, but I think I caught what he had, so now I'm freaking down. Better to get it now before I head up to Milwaukee, though. Yeah, man, just I missed the entire episode, so don't really have much to add, except Andy, you do like luxury when it comes to your airplane seat, flying
Delta United. I don't fly fucking Delta.
United. I'm sorry.
I got standards. God bless. Or
I did catch that part of it. I was like,
Spirit.
You're definitely bougie.
I have flown Spirit. Never again.
I'm just kidding. I tried Spirit years ago and I said never again.
You can do it.
No, I also cannot stand Southwest. Only because I want to know what seat I'm getting. I want to know what seat I'm on, and that's it. I want to know what seat I'm on, and I want to sit in that seat.
I hate an American guy. I need aisle seat. I have to have aisle seat.
And I don't really care which seat I'm in. I want to know.
Like exit aisle, American Airlines. It's whatever.
American's also good to me. I got no.
We flew when Monica and I went to Washington. We flew Alaska. It was the same weekend that airplane lost part of the fuselage, and it was the exact same plane too. I was like, holy shit, that could have been us.
That could have been you. That's no good. And we actually, Casey, when you and I were traveling around all over the damn place for McDonald's, I couldn't even tell who we flew. We flew whatever was cheap and convenient, So
we flew a lot of American,
it
and
was a-
I
I think it was
think I flew Delta a couple times, and United was you.
It was the, hey, who can get us a flight 2 hours earlier or 2 hours later? Because that's how tight we were on time. Often, when
At
we
one
were,
point, I think when we had that thing in Ohio, I don't know. I flew into Michigan, Detroit first, and then down
yeah,
to. I remember missing a flight home like
yep,
twice because I was
yep,
so effed up.
yeah.
Me and Altman.
Anyway, yeah, oh yeah, you were not happy. Remember you called, you were not happy. I was like, what do you want me to do with it, man? Like, here we are. All right. I'm apparently 50-50. I'm going to California in like 3 weeks.
Wait,
Nice.
did you decide if you're coming?
I said 50-50. That's a
Oh, 50-50. Okay.
That's better than an hour ago when I didn't even know it was an option. I knew there was a virtual event and I knew there was an in-person event, and I was basically dismissive of it. Anyways.
Yeah, I'd
All
love
right.
for you to come.
Well, this is the time that we normally go around and say, hey, what's your top takeaway? Casey, I guess, really doesn't have one, or maybe, I don't know. Do you
Top
have anything?
takeaways is software is important. You should probably invest in some.
He's not wrong. Software is important. You should invest in some. Casey was a house call pro guy. I am an adamant jobber guy, and Andrew is coming in with dispatch to fuck things up.
I was house call pro for 1 year. Then I switched to Workies. I used Workies for 1 year. They both have their pros and cons.
We are anti-workies on this show.
Workies is the most expensive, and they lock you into 1 year contract. It's
I don't give a shit about that. I am a firm believer in you are the company you keep. And when you align yourself with franchises that fuck over veterans and sexually harass them, and and you're generally a terrible person, and then you employ these people to promote your brand, and then you're made aware of how terrible a person they are, and you continue to let them promote your brand, I don't want to be affiliated with you.
You know what you just said really solidifies what Steezy said. Steezy just called me the other day, and they pay $600 per referral, and Steezy says he sent them 5 referrals, and they just cut him off and are not paying him. So seems like
whatever. And I don't dislike the software, and I've talked to a couple of people, decent people. As an organization, though, when you support shitty people and you align yourself with shitty people, that's one thing. And then when you're told they're shitty people and you're like, well, we're backing him, well, then you made your fucking bed.
Yeah.
And that's it, right? It's not an opinion, it's an absolute perspective, because it comes from a place of facts. So there we go. And we are the anti-workies. Also, they wanted to sponsor the show at one point, and we've had a couple people approach us on sponsorship, and everyone that we've talked to about sponsorship has all brought up at some point, we do or do not want you to talk about this or that. And we're like, cool. We will talk about what the fuck we want.
Cool.
And like Joe Rogan has never had a sponsor, and he always talks about like it's one of the best things he ever did. He's never had there's no money to follow. He says the fucking words, and that's it. So let's get to the big finish. Let's go around the horn. Casey already gave his top takeaway, which is software is important. Andrew, top takeaway from today's show.
Top takeaway from today's show. Well, I'm glad to have finally met you. So that is probably my number one, as I finally got to shoot the shit with you.
Mm-hmm.
And my takeaway is that I hope you come to, and I love shooting the shit with you. That's my takeaway, man. I love, this felt like a natural conversation too. Like I didn't feel like, I was being interviewed right across, like back and forth.
No, that's my top takeaway is that, we started the show on time. Your internet sucked. My internet sucked. And and Casey was fucking sick, came in the last 10 minutes, and we still made mission. Our goal, right? There are days in junk removal, and this is also a lesson of life. People say, oh, there's no good decision. You're right. There was no good decision, and yet there's a better decision, right? Like with you, it's like, it wasn't a good choice of, hey, do you stay here laggy as shit, not be able to hear me, or hop off? Do I stay here frozen or hop off? Right? It's like, well, what's better for the long term? And it's about investing in the short-term pain so that you have the long-term gain. And that's one of the things I see in our space and other spaces. People that want to get into junk removal, wanting to get a business, and then they no longer want to be uncomfortable. They want to do what's simple. They want to do what's easy. They want to do what's comfortable. And then they wonder why they get stagnant and do not grow. So my challenge to everybody out there is face the reality, face it while you make it. And as you're building, do not apologize. figure shit out as you go. Because those of us that have been in the hustle, I got 15 years now under my belt, 15 years of being in this hustle. Not every day goes to fucking plan. It's not about how good of a plan you can make. It's about how you are under pressure, how you can adapt and adjust in real time. That is the measure of a man or woman, 2024, or, well, those are your two fucking choices. Man, or woman. That's how you adjust to life. There's my political affiliations for the day. All right. That's my top takeaway. A little soapboxy. And you know what? That is good for me. Today's unofficial sponsor, KNS Junk Removal up there in Minnesota, on the account of the free swag. Casey, I got you a double XL t-shirt from KNS. Well, that's what they sent. And I know Casey's not a double XL anymore. At one point you were a double XL kind of guy. Anyways, double XL. No,
never.
Really? I'm an XL.
All good.
All right, we'll find something.
Nice.
Cut the sleeves off. You'll look good. Also, Casey, Casey's coming in next weekend. I haven't even announced this. My big announcement, only really to Casey matters. We are doing our quarterly Camo Crew quarterly event. Every quarter we go out with our guys. We do something. Camo Crew quarterly event next Friday at Spitfires on State. The best wings in all of Milwaukee. Casey Bubba will be our special guest for that.
No, I won't. No, I won't be there till the 10th, man.
You're flying in Saturday?
Yeah.
I thought you were
Saturday
flying
morning.
Sunday. Oh, and you're flying out Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it. We'll go Saturday then. We'll go Saturday.
And that's not next weekend. That's in 2 weeks.
That's 2 weeks. 2 weeks. My brain's already into the next week.
But you had me at Spitfires, even though we'll be in Chicago. I don't care.
Whatever. We'll figure it out. All right. So much for my big announcement. All right. I'm Andy. He's Casey. And Andrew is our special guest. On behalf of everybody here at the Trash Talk Business Podcast, including our producer, Taylor. Shout out, Taylor. I'm Andy Weins. This has been another great week, and we will see you next week.
Thanks for listening. Tap subscribe or follow to get the latest episode. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave us a review and tell a friend to listen. To learn more, visit trashtalkbusinesspodcast.com. Bye now.